Receiving simulator transmission. Uploading transmitted feed. Initializing playback sequence. Alright Seipher, we're ready.
Hey everyone, Seipher here, and welcome to the final episode of Seipher Plays Pokémon Ruby Nuzlocke. In the last episode, we faced down both Glacia and Drake of the Elite Four, managing to complete the Elite Four challenge of this Pokemon League challenge. However, we still have one more opponent left to go in the form of the champion. We did have a small bit of trouble with the ace of Drake's team, but we managed to come through without losing a single person in our group, so we're in pretty good standing. However, I do foresee that this is going to be the true final battle that will be rather difficult. Despite how easily I've gone through this, I don't foresee this final battle being as easy. So, just to prepare, I actually used one of my rare candies. I've got 5 left on Force, just so that he's on par with the rest of the team. Shogo's still the strongest. I'm not going to use any more of them, though. I know that I normally like to prepare out to the odds and basically be on par, but I ultimately decided I've done that throughout this, and I might as well see if I can get through to the end. Plus, I feel this makes it more interesting for you guys watching at home. So, without anything left, with Urbosa in the lead for this next and final battle, let's just head on up. Welcome, Seipher. I was looking forward to seeing you here one day. What did you see on your journey with Pokémon? What did you feel meeting so many other trainers like you? What has awoken in you? I want you to hit me with it all. Now bring it! Okay, the final battle. Champion Steven Stone would like to battle, and he's going to be starting things off with a Skarmory. Now, from my own Skarmory, I know that this thing is a very good physical tank. Only 2 weaknesses in Fire and Electric, and this one in particular is rather tricky to deal with if you don't come in swinging. It has Aerial Ace, Toxic, Steel Wing, and Spikes. It generally likes to stall you out with Toxic and set up Spikes so that the rest of your team is taking damage while his team can really do you. It is for this reason that I feel that it is best to lead off with something really strong that can hit hard and hit fast. And in my case, Urbosa is the best way that I've come up with to take care of it. So, one Thunderbolt ought to do it. Now, despite how easily it went down, I don't foresee the rest of his team going down that easily, because while he is specialized to one type, he is rather difficult to deal with. Coming in next, this is Aggron, Steel Rock type. I believe it has Sturdy for its ability. It's got Thunder, Solar Beam, Dragon Claw, and I think Iron Tail. It's definitely not something I want to deal with, especially with Urbosa, so I'm actually going to quickly shift into Rude, who has Levitate. Oh, I forgot, this thing has Earthquake, not Iron Tail, so forget that. 3 of his Pokemon have Earthquake, so having an Electric type here can be a bit tricky to deal with. Thankfully, I've got Darude, who's currently holding the Soft Sand, so his Earthquake should be pretty powerful, and this is a Steel Rock type, so despite its massive defense, I think this should be able to see us through. Thank you. However, what he sends out next is going to be tricky. Oh, Metagross. Well, his ace Pokemon. Steel Psychic type, Clear Body for its ability, so you can't lower its stats outside of Paralysis, Burn, and just Paralysis and Burn. So it's a bit tricky to deal with. I believe it has Meteor Mash, Psychic, Hyper Beam, and Earthquake, so this thing can hit pretty hard. And it's actually why I feel that I'm probably going to lose somebody here. because I know for a fact that Darude, even with his perfect attack IV and supple investment into his attack EVs, cannot one-shot this without a crit. So we're just going to go for our best bet, having him Earthquake him down. And we're going to have to hope that Meteor Mash will miss, because that's... Or... Huh. Well, that's... I guess my calculations were wrong? That are... Huh. Okay, well that takes a load off, because I expected this to be a lot harder. And this Claydol is one of the reasons that I was a bit worried. This thing has Earthquake, Light Screen, Reflect, and I believe Ice Beam, which is why he brought it in. So I'm going to switch to Buren. With that Metagross down, I actually don't really fear this champion fight so much anymore, because that was pretty much my only worry. So thankfully, I think that we'll be able to deal with it, even though he has gotten up some Light Screen and Reflect now. I could bring in... Oh, I guess he didn't have Ice Beam, Ancient Power, and Earthquake. I'm just getting these movesets wrong. I think I'm misremembering them with the Emerald ones, so I've gotten him down now thanks to that. So let's actually swap Buren out for Shogo, because Shogo can break through those that Light Screen and Reflect while he's down, and could possibly... Well, actually, let's actually swap to Darude, just because I have a feeling that he's going to go for Earthquake, but if he doesn't... Okay, he's going for those Ancient Power boosts. I better... Okay, good, he's dealt with that, so let's just go for a Flamethrower just to see what he does, since he does still have Light Screen up. Okay, that wasn't good, but... Okay, now Dragon Claw should be able to do some decent damage now that his Light Screen has gone down. And a crit, okay. And I think he'll waste time healing here, so we can actually... go for a Fly, because that'll eat up a turn of Reflect, now that he set it back up. Unfortunately, Claydol is very defensive, and I better actually start making progress with this, because if I don't, he's definitely going to be an issue. And Reflect wore off, so come on, Fly, do some solid damage. Thank you, critical hit. Thank you, Darude. Okay, that could have been trouble. And Buren grew to level 57. 2 Pokemon left. He's sending out a Cradily, and his Light Screen's worn off. So this is a rather tricky Pokemon to deal with. Rock Grass type with Suction Cups for its ability, so I don't think I can actually flee. I believe it has Ancient Power, Toxic, Confuse Ray, and Ingrain, or Giga Drain, one of the two. So we're going to have to go with our strongest possible move, that being Earthquake in this case, so here's hoping. Okay, that did solid damage, and he's just going for a Confuse Ray, so maybe we can just use a full Restore to get rid of the confusion and heal us up. Okay, he's going for Giga Drain. How much is this going to do? Okay, not too bad. We could survive a crit of that. Let's go for another Earthquake. Okay, good. Higher roll this time, so we managed to take him out. I suppose I should say that my calculations were actually based around them having perfect IVs, so maybe my calcs were just a bit off. Granted, I compensated for that by not including any EVs in that, but I didn't think it would be this easy. Anyway, his last Pokemon is Armaldo. I believe it has Aerial Ace, Waterfall, Ancient... not Waterfall, Water Pulse, Ancient Power, and Fury Cutter. I can't entirely say if that's right, though, so let's just hit it as hard as we can. Hopefully Darude can manage. That bug type will negate the ground type weakness, but... Okay, so Slash, not Fury Cutter, but we should be alright. One more Earthquake, and we should be finished. Okay. I honestly didn't expect it to go this well, but we managed to get through another Nuzlocke Pokemon League challenge without losing anybody. I, the champion, fall in defeat. Kudos to you, Seipher. You are a truly noble Pokemon trainer. Congratulations. The feelings you have for your Pokemon, and the Pokemon that responded to those feelings with all their might. They came together as one and created an even greater power. And thus you were able to grasp victory today. You are rightfully the Hoenn region's new Seipher. Here's some advice before you challenge the champion. Huh? What? Seipher, could it be that it's already over? See? What did I tell you, May? Didn't I tell you that you don't need to worry about Seipher? Seipher, you've finally done it. When I heard that you defeated your own father at the Petalburg Gym, I thought perhaps you had a chance. But to think you'd actually become the champion. Ah, yes. What became of your Pokedex? Here, let me see. So you've seen 139 Pokemon, and you've caught 60 Pokemon. Instead of just catching Pokemon, how about making them evolve too? I mean, Professor Birch, I did evolve quite a few to get here. Why am I bothering? His Pokedex ratings will never be all that great, especially considering in Fire Red and Leaf Green, getting 60 Pokemon unlocked the ability to get the National Dex, but whatever. Anyways, congratulations. Now go proudly into the final room. Seipher. No, the new champion. Come with me. I'm sorry, but from here on, only those trainers who have become champions may enter. You'll have to wait outside with the professor. I'm just joking. That's okay. That's the rule. Seipher, honestly, congratulations. This room. This is where we keep records of Pokemon that prevailed through harsh battles. It is here that League champions are honored. Come on, let's record your name as a trainer who triumphed over the Pokemon League, and the names of the partners who battled with you. It's a little surreal thinking that we got here without any deaths, but I'll gladly take it. Urbosa, the main Electric, the Sky Fury, Lombardi, the Hotshot Pilot, Sceptile, the Ronin of the Wood, Forrest, the Ronin of the Woods, Shogo, the Stalwart Berserker, Darude, the Mystic Sand Spirit, and Buren, the Harsh Northeastern Wind. All of them made it to the Hall of Fame, all alive, all champions. Together with me, we have been recorded as League champions. 102 hours and 8 minutes later. Time's really just that high just because of all the off-screen grinding that I did, so you'll have to excuse me for that. And with that, we have completed the Pokemon Ruby Nuzlocke. And with only one death, I have to say it was pretty intense. Hopefully, not my best showing, but the best so far, I'd say. Anyway, on to thoughts on the project. I have to say, I really enjoyed this game, and going through it again, and getting back into Nuzlocking. Though I haven't played this game nearly as much as Fire Red, Heart Gold, or even other Pokemon games, it hit me with a ton of nostalgia, and I had a lot of fun. I feel that this game and its counterparts brought the Pokemon franchise. I feel that the changes that this game and its counterparts, Sapphire and Emerald, brought to this franchise really kicked it up a notch. I mean, the introduction of abilities was one of the biggest changes from Gens 2 to 3, and it has certainly made these games a bit more in-depth, planning around, okay, do I want this ability for my team, or do I want that ability for my team, and how does that play with the rest of my team, and so on and so forth. It just really adds a lot of depth to what would cause it to be, I guess, a little complicated, but really it doesn't come off that way. Granted, some of the abilities aren't written that well, but that's a point for another time. The game provided a good balance of new Mons and old Mons that made it interesting to develop a team, in my opinion. The story definitely took a step up, introducing villains that actually seem like a genuine threat, at least in terms of motivation, compared to the previous iterations where Team Rocket was just desiring power through using Pokemon for crime. And it tied in the legendaries in a much more cohesive way than Gold and Silver had done when the legendary Pokemon started becoming the mascots for these games. Nuzlocking this one felt a good deal more difficult than the previous ones, as I really had strong opponents for the major fights and had to come up with some rather unique strategies to take them on, especially certain trickier foes like Norman and Winona. And I feel that made the experience more fun both for me to play and figure out, and for you at home to watch. I suppose if I have to be negative in terms of cons, I can't really say much. Sure, some Pokemon have terrible movesets, such as the C-Dot line not learning a single Grass-type move throughout their entire lifespan by leveling up when they are Grass and Dark-type Pokemon, but I suppose there are worse things that I could... That's the worst that I could say. I mean, if that's the worst that I can say, it's nitpicking at best. In terms of future of the franchise on this channel, I definitely will do more Nuzlocks that have certainly revitalized my feelings toward Pokemon, and some of the most challenging games are ahead of us. That said, the next Nuzlocke will not be right away. I will say, though, that for Pokemon, I may come back to Hoenn and try the definitive edition of Pokemon Emerald. I have some ideas for it, but am weighing some options at this time. As for when my next Let's Play will be, that is a bit up in the air, as I am recording this before a bunch of travel, so I can't quite say when the next game will start. That said, I now have a Blue Sky account. Link is on my channel, and I will keep you posted there and have an announcement video prepared when the time is right. In terms of what the next game will be, that is a small matter of debate for myself. All I'll say is that I'm considering 2 different DS games for right now, and we'll leave it at that. To cap things off, I wanted to again shout out a certain friend who I dedicated this series to. Though our paths have branched off, the thought that you are watching over this series and just seeing how this channel grows is a comfort, and I honestly hope you'll continue watching in the future. I'd personally like to thank you, and anyone else out there who is watching these, for the support. Well, with all that said, I suppose until we meet again, stay gold.
Playback sequence terminated. Transmission disconnected.